Hey guys, this is Joseph with Kinetic. I'm standing in downtown Columbia at the spot where the old Columbia Bridge crossed the Ouachita River. In 1933, the Long Island Bridge opened, and for about 75 years it carried motorists back and forth across the Ouachita River. When I was a kid and you pulled up to the bridge, if there was a barge coming, we all loved it because that meant old Sidney Mack was coming. He was finna raise the bridge and you were going to get to watch that barge go underneath the bridge. I'm sure my parents hated the interruption, but as a kid I thought it was the neatest thing. We loved that bridge in Caldwell Parish. It was iconic to us, although there were a few times we didn't like it when an 18-wheeler would run over a truss and you couldn't cross, but for the most part we loved the bridge, and it was a big part of Caldwell Parish. But in 2007, I stood on the levee down there as engineers safely and effectively took the Long Island Bridge down using explosives. It was the end of an era for Caldwell Parish. We've seen a lot of the end of life in the last year in our area, not just in Caldwell Parish, but in LaSalle and in some of the surrounding parishes as well. We've seen time after time where life has ended. And I don't know how your young minds begin to even process that, because you're not even to a phase in life where you should have to worry about that. But time after time, we've been bombarded by the end of life. But the good news is that God has created us with a purpose that extends far beyond our short time we have on this earth. You see, the Long Island Bridge, its whole legacy was sealed into the 75 or so years that it had on this earth. If you try to cross the Long Island Bridge now, you're going to have a really long journey to get to the other side, and you're probably going to get wet. But our lives are not built like that. God has created us for a purpose, and He created us with a purpose, and He has a desire for our legacy to extend far beyond just the short time we have on this earth. It's been so exciting to me to see the revival that's happening in our world, in our country, and more specifically in our parishes. We've seen churches in Caldwell and LaSalle and the surrounding areas that have been coming together and working together to share in what God has for us. We've seen men stepping up into their roles as husbands and fathers and sons and brothers, and we see young ladies and women stepping up into their roles as wives and mothers and sisters. And it's been such a joy for me to see you young people, the explosion of young people that seem to care about the things of God so much. It's been exciting for me to be at the youth conference. For 7 years now, we've been together at the youth conference. And I've gotten to see you guys grow and learn and fellowship together, and just to start to really dive into God's Word. It's been some of the sweetest moments of my life to be in that sanctuary as you guys worship together. I can't tell you how excited I am for us to have our 8th annual youth conference. It's coming up January 19th, 20th, and 21st. It will be at First Baptist downtown again, just because that's a good central location. We'll start at 6 o'clock each night. Just like every year, we'll have food, we'll have classes, we'll have worship. Kinetic is leading worship again. We'll have Brother Reuben Weaver back to speak to us, and I expect it to be a good time. I'm so excited about it. But I can tell you that the thing I'm most excited about this year is I want to see young people that realize that they have to step up into the role that God has for them. To realize that God is writing a legacy for you that is so much bigger than the legacy you can write on your own. And I just hope that you'll let God write His legacy on your life.